अञ्जनाशूरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome all the devotees and they can switch on their videos. पुरुषः प्रकृतिस्थो हि भुङ्क्ते प्रकृतिजान् गुणान् कारणं गुणसङ्गस्य सदसद्योनिजन्मसु उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो देहस्मिन् पुरुषः परः मां च यो अभिविचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीते तान् ब्रह्मभूजाय कल्पते ममैवांसो जीवलोके जीवभूत सनातन मनसष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविद् एव चाहम् ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम् भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावन्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तदनन्तरं मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मां वैस्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुच। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we were doing 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So title is The Perfection of Renunciation. So we heard that last time Bhagavad Gita should have ended 17th chapter only. So this last chapter is summary. Like the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita was summary of all the yogas. So this also is summary. And the question also began in that way, that though Arjuna is asking what is the difference between sannyas and tyag, hmm, but his intention, he has understood. At the same time, at last, he wants to again emphasize it. So tyag means to give up the fruits of action, and sannyas means to give up the fruits and action both. So, as the teaching of Bhagavad Gita goes, we know that Krishna never encourages giving up work. One should do one's work and one should give up the fruits of one's work. Means one should work in a detached temperament. Dutiful and detached work, which is the Niskam Karma Yoga. So, Niskam Karma Yoga, Krishna's emphasis is there. Krishna's emphasis is there, but Krishna's conclusion is devotional service in every chapter. As we saw in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, in every chapter, conclusion is devotional service, emphasis is Niskam Karma Yoga. And should devotee do Niskam Karma Yoga? No, devotee should do Bhakti Yoga. Because Niskam Karma Yoga means to work in Satuguna. And Bhakti Yoga means to work beyond the modes. So when we understand I am a servant of Krishna, and even though I may belong to some Varna, Brahman, Kshatriya, but I am working under the direction of Guru. I am working for the pleasure of Krishna, for the pleasure of Guru. So then this understanding, difference between Niskam Karma and Bhakti is this, that Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Bandanam Dasyam Sakhyo Atma Nivedanam Iti Pumsarpito Vishnu Bhakti Stena Lakshana Create Bhagavat Adha Tanmanne Dhita Uttamam. This statement, Create Bhagavat Adha, I have spoken earlier also. When you consider that you are property of Krishna, I am devotee of Krishna, and then you do the work, that is pure devotional service. When we consider I am a Varnashram man or woman, and then you do the work, and then you offer to Krishna, because I have to offer to Krishna, that is Niskam Karma Yoga. Your identity is to Varna, Brahmachari, Grihastha, and I have to offer because I have to get free from the reaction of work. So that is then, it's a mixed devotional service. But when you understand I am a servant of Krishna, whatever I am doing, whether I am doing work of Brahmana or Kshatriya, whatever modern time is, contemporary situation is there, whatever. But I want to please Krishna. That is a pure devotional service. So Niskama Karma Yoga is Satuguna work, working in Satuguna. And Krishna will mention here Satuguna, renunciation in Satuguna, charity in Satuguna. But we should understand the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is devotional service. Because so there are two things, doing mixed devotional service, offering everything to Krishna after we do the work, because it's obligation in the Varnashram, I have to offer to get something, and offering our life and our thought process from beginning only, like when we offer rice, when we offer dal, and then you make khichdi. So already rice dal is offered, and again khichdi is also offered. So it's like the pure devotional service. Means we have offered ourselves to Krishna, and then we are doing service to Krishna. That is pure devotional service. But in Varnashram, we belong to certain Varna, and then we offer the results to Krishna, or we don't expect result from our work. That is a difference thing, that because we have independence, we have a connection to Krishna after certain stage during offering our fruits. But what about doing the work? Oh, I'm doing the work according to Shastra. Okay, but are you doing for pleasure of Krishna? Oh, that I don't worry too much. I'm just doing, I will offer the result to Krishna. So this we have to understand. This is the difference between Niskama Karma and Bhakti. So therefore Krishna, in order to bring the people from Niskam to Bhakti, pure Bhakti, he says, Yat karoshi dasnasi, whatever you're doing, do it for me. He wants to train them to pure devotion service. So then he says that jo bhi karna mere liye karo. Don't simply offer me result, but whatever you are doing, do it for me only. And later, then he again says that if you do everything thinking that I am the Supreme Personality of God and I'm your master, with proper knowledge of the consciousness, in proper consciousness, when we Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchi, that is a pure devotion service. Anna Vilasita Sunyam, Gyan Karma Dhyanavritam, Anukulena Krishna Nasilanam Bhakti Ruchate. So that when there is no avrit, covering of jnana and karma, there is no research for jnana and karma other than Krishna's seva, and there is no abhilasha. Abhilashita means we will learn in NOD more. Motivation is not there. Sometimes some devotee can ask something, like somebody is in danger, he can ask, Krishna save me. But his motivation is not like that. Sometimes it is a nature, like we say Haribol. Haribol means it becomes second nature. It's like we're not exactly, our like a tongue is just coming out like Haribol. In the similar way, whenever devotee is going in difficulty, immediately call Krishna save me. So it's not that Krishna is asking Krishna every time, save me, save me, save me. Otherwise, the devotee is engaging Krishna in so much his service. So therefore, we learn this thing in NOD. After Bhagavad Gita is NOD. So pure devotional service means his motivation is not to call Krishna to save him, but somehow like Draupadi called, because devotee is always dependent on Krishna for everything. So he may sometimes may call, but that is not his motivation to always engage Krishna in his protection or in his seva. Krishna is not our order supplier, Prabhupada says. So sannyas and tyaga, that was a discussion. And we saw that sannyas means giving up kama karma, nitya karma has to be there. Nitya karma should not be given up. That was a beginning understanding, okay? While the discussion was going on, so Krishna says that kamyanam, that he has to nyasa. But what he should not nyas? Nitya karma. Nitya karma he should not nyas. So, yes, this is second shloka. Kamyanam karmanam. Nyasa. Okay, then those who are tyagi, they give up nitya karma. Oh, sorry, they do not give up nitya karma and they do not give up even kami karma, but they give up the fruits of their action. Okay? These are tyagi. Sannyasi means they give up the kami karma. What are the kami karma? Kami karma means some yagya for going to heaven. Putra kameshti yagya. Somebody wants the putra. Somebody wants kingdom. Some big yagyas. They are doing it. Or somebody wants to go to heaven. So these are the kamya. What is your desire? In this world we are living, we can have so many desires. There is naimetik karma. Naimetik karma means like samskaras, which is obligate, like obligation is there, but it does not come every day. It comes monthly to bi-monthly. 2-3 बार आता है साल में, 3-4 बार या 12 महीने आता है. So like these are called naimetik karma. संस्कार करना, गर्भाधान, उपनयन, श्राद्ध सेरेमनी, तर्पण करना, ये नैमित्तिक कर्म हो गए. एंड निषिद्ध कर्मा और निषेध कर्मा, तो दैट इज सिंफुल एक्टिविटी, दैट वन शुड नॉट बी डूइंग. Prayashchit karma is also there. Somebody can perform atonement for whatever sin one has done. Chandrayan Vrata. So like Parishit Ma discuss about it in sixth canto. People do a lot of prayashchit also. So now these can be so many karma: nitya karma, naimittik karma, kame karma, prayashchit karma, nisiddha karma. So sannyasi should do nitya karma. Now, when it came to naimittik karma, Prabhupada said even Vivah Yagya is not a problem for sannyasi. He can arrange such yagya for his disciples. So Prabhupada said means naimittik karma is also like sometimes sannyasis may do annaprasan ceremony for some children. Yes, so that is also allowed. So then naimittik karma is also allowed for sannyasi along with nitya. Then come nishiddha karma, so never allowed, means we cannot do sin. Prayashchit karma, whether it is allowed or not allowed. So prayashchit comes when somebody does some sin. So surely it's like again it's a when it is done, then he has to do something. So that can be like allowed. If he falls prey to some wrong action, then he might do some sinful prayashchita. But kame karma, especially this sinful this material desires, going to heaven. So these things are becoming famous or for anything. These things are not allowed for even sannyasi. So now Tyagi can do all this work. Then next thing Krishna says, Mimamsak people, they say that even this Asumedh Yagya, Gomedh Yagya, where the animals are sacrificed, even that should also be not given up. So now Asumedh Yagya, Gomedh Yagya, these are like, you can say, again the king is doing it for the kingdom. Yes, for the benefit of the kingdom. So that should not be done by a sannyasi or sorry, Mimamsak say that sannyasi can do, not a problem. But the Sankhya philosophers, they say no, 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 that these killings should not be allowed. So then Krishna says there are so many opinions, but my opinion is that yajna dana tapa should never be given up. The yajna dana tapa. Now the again question comes, now this animal killing yajna. So then Prabhupada mentions that vivaha yajna means the naimittik karma is allowed, but at the same time those yajna which are not in mode of goodness, yajna dana tapa, because Krishna mentions later charity in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. So only goodness part one can do. Sannyasi can also do, Tyagi can also do. Okay? Only goodness part he should do. He should not do the ignorance and passion wala part. Charity, even sannyasi has to give. Sannyasi has to give charity, then give in mode of goodness. Don't give in mode of passion and ignorance. Hmm. So that is a mata of Krishna. That is the final mata. So we had discussed by which कौन से श्लोक पे हम थे? Hmm. Yeah, this is my final opinion. ठीक है. This we have done. Panch Mahayagya. So Lord speaks about three kinds of tyaga. So all this tyaga means three modes. Charity means again the three modes. So these three modes things will keep coming. Renunciation in three mode. ठीक है. I think nobody remembers, हैं? ये तो हो गया है सातवां.
दिन लास्ट संडे क्लास हुआ क्या?
लास्ट
लास्ट वीकेंड
वीकेंड क्लास हुआ है ना.
लास्ट ओके ओके ओके
One day it had happened.
संडे को हुआ, सैटरडे नहीं हुआ.
One day happened, not both day. ठीक है. We'll go ahead with from here. So Amrish Pranpu, you can read. नियतस्तु तु संन्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागस्तामसः परिकीर्तितः.
Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance.
One should not give up prescribed duty. So nitya karma, naimittik karmas, one should not be giving up. These are prescribed duties. कि संस्कार करना है, अपने नित्य एवरीडे एक्टिविटी वन हैज टू डू. काम्य कर्मा के बारे में नहीं, but नित्य prescribed duty should never be renounced. And if one gives up prescribed duty out of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in mode of ignorance. Like a student have to study, married person has to work, Vanprastha has to do tapasya, sannyasi has to preach, or he has to be fearless, renounce from everything. So these are like prescribed duties for them. So they cannot give it up. The Prabhupada says cooking for oneself is prohibited, but cooking for the Lord is not prohibited. The sannyasi may perform marriage ceremony also, so this is mentioned. Starting the description of three types of tyaga, the Lord here describes the tamasic tyaga. Giving up daily activities, niyatasya karmana, is not recommended. So daily activities, that means nitya karma, is not recommended to if somebody gives up. To reject the nitya karma out of ignorance of the meaning of the scripture, of the scriptures, mohat is called tamasic tyaga. The sannyasis can reject kama karma since they are not obligatory, but nitya karma are not to be rejected. ठीक है ना? Kama karma, going to heaven, becoming powerful, becoming famous, which is our in between desire, but that should be given up by sannyasi, but he should not give up the nitya karma. So Baldev Vidyabhushan says that the Panch Mahayagya, one should give up kama karmas because they lead to bondage. One should not renounce the nitya and naimittik karmas such as 5 daily sacrifices. तो नैमित्तिक कर्म संस्कार वाले, और ये भी है कौन से, पंच महायज्ञ को भी नैमित्तिक कर्म बोला गया है. Like offering to devas by archana, offering to pitras by tarpana. These are occasional comes. Offering to guests by food, offering to animals by food. Nitya karmas are those prescribed for daily. Naimittik are those prescribed periodically, such as monthly and yearly. So that should not be given up. These should not be given up because they produce liberation through the knowledge inherent in them from the aiming at Atma. So if some guest comes, some guest comes to somebody's house, okay, even to sannyasis wherever he is living, if some guest comes, so then he has to offer him some seat, he has to offer him some eatables. So again, it's a naimittic karma, but it is there. It's a periodic, not that guest is coming every day. So then he has to offer him. Then some animals, to give some food to animals, that is also has to be given. Then pitras, tarpan to pitras, that is also mentioned here. Even archanas to some deva, offering to deva some archana. Some types of festivals are celebrated for certain things, or some kind of means again, it should not be for purpose going to heaven or getting some material opulence. No, it should be like just it's a happening in the society which is connected to some samskaras, some festival. Okay, then he's doing it. Chanting the Vedic mantras like that. So, or offering to Brahmanas by chanting the Vedas. So, these are Panch Mahayagya which is mentioned. This should not be given up even by sannyasis. A person worshipping the devatas who are vibhuti of the Lord can accomplish maintenance of his body for pursuing knowledge of the truth by taking the purified remnants. Okay. So this is a mode of ignorance, tyaga, when somebody gives up his prescribed duty, nitya naimittik, out of ignorance. Out of ignorance, or basically, many times it is because of trouble of body. So then one gives up. So that is renunciation in mode of ignorance. Dukkham iti eva yat karma kaya klesha bhaya त्यजेत सकृत्वा राजसं त्यागम नैव त्याग फलम लभेत.
Anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation.
Okay, so one is in ignorance, which is mentioned here. मोहा तस्य परित्यागस, मोह के में आकर, मतलब नॉलेज के अभाव में आकर, मोह में आकर, like Arjuna, he was not ready to fight. Yes, not ready to do his duty. So that was ignorance. मोह में फंस गया. किसके मोह में? He became caught up in the moha family members. So moha, it's not that he's not capable, he can do, but moha. So because of ignorance, a person bewilderment, and he cannot follow, he just give up his duty. It happens in modern times also. Moha is created by so many things, so many uh, like a boy falls in love with some girl in college time, then he stops his studying. So that is again tyagat in ignorance. So he has not studied. In the similar way, modern times people don't follow. They live in ignorance. Basically, somebody says, "I will marry only if the girl is also working, or it should give me so much money, so much things." So mostly this kind of ignorance is there in the people, and that's why they do not perform their duty properly. So this is again, they are giving up their duty because of ignorance. Knowledge is not clearly there with them, so they are bewildered. So moha tasya parityagas tamasah parikirtitah. So it is declared as parityaga in tamasa. Now Krishna is saying dukham itetva karma yat karma Kaya klesha bhayat tyaja. Kaya ke klesh, if somebody is giving up work because of bodily problem or bodily distress, बहुत ज्यादा वर्क हो गया है, जैसे प्रभुपाद says sometimes deity worship is quite laborious work. Yes. So this is again somebody is giving up because of kaya क्लेश या भयात, डर के मारे त्यजेत, अरे फेल हो गया, अभी दोबारा मेहनत किया दोबारा फेल होगा तो क्या होगा, मैं तो डूब जाऊंगा। तो देन फेल होने के डर से, या बॉडली मेहनत के डर से, मेहनत ज्यादा करना पड़ेगा, कोई अगर कोई छोड़ देता है, तो उसे क्या बोलेंगे, सकृत्वा राजसम त्याजम। वो राजसिक त्याज है, नैव त्याजम फलम लभेत। सो दैट इज वाई समटाइम्स some student ask question, I want to do mtech, should I do or not? It's a अगेन अ ग्रेट, और से एमटेक तो ठीक है, आगे चल के पीएचडी करेगा, सो बहुत ही लेबर करना पड़ेगा, तो करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए? दे आस्क मेनी टाइम्स क्वेश्चन, दे हैव डिजायर बट दे जस्ट वांट टू अवॉइड एक्टिविटी, या तो दे से ओके करना है कि नहीं करना? फर्स्ट, हैव यू डिजायर? या आई हैव डिजायर, बट आई एम आस्किंग, तो देन यू शुड डू इट। यस, यू शुड डू इट। So sometimes people after doing they understand, okay, it is a lot of hard work. Next time I don't want to do next course. तो ये भी होता है, कई बार लोगों को एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए, कोई भी कार्य करने के बाद उनको पता लगता है कि अभी नहीं करना है दूसरा काम, उनको पहले रोक दिया तो फिर कंप्लेन करेंगे, आपने मना किया था, आपने मना किया, यू सेड नॉट टू डू, देयरफॉर आई डिड नॉट डू। So okay, here when we are talking about is a prescribed duty. So sometimes the kama karma also enters into prescribed duty ऐसा sometimes, therefore we should not इसको mix नहीं करना है।
मैं क्या फोन से करूं?
हरे कृष्णा, इनको म्यूट करना पड़ेगा। So prescribed duty, anyone who gives a prescribed duty is a troublesome or fear of bodily discomfort. For a student, what is the prescribed duty? To study. For a woman, what is prescribed duty? Who is a married woman, to take care of the home, to take care of family, that is a prescribed duty. For a husband, what is prescribed duty? To get earning, to house, take care of family, maintaining family. That is. For a brahmana, what is prescribed duty? He have to study scriptures. Yajani Yajan Patan Patan. He should not give up because of kaya klesh ya bhayat. He should not give up. Tyaj phalam labhit. Okay, let's read Prabhupada's purport. One who is in Krishna consciousness should not give up earning money out of fear that he is performing fruitive activities. If by working one can engage his money in Krishna consciousness, or if by rising early in the morning one can advance in transcendental Krishna consciousness, one should not desist out of fear or because such activities are considered troublesome. Such renunciation is in mode of passion. The result of passionate work is always miserable. If a person renounces work in that spirit, he never gets the result of renunciation. Yes, what is the question?
My question is for the previous verse. That so if I am not able to identify that first place, person is having fear of getting attached, therefore he is not doing work with moha, right? Na moha tasya parityagya se. So because of that fear he is not doing work, or he is renouncing the work, that is ignorance, or just giving up without any knowledge is ignorance. तो मोह में फंस जाएंगे, इस डर से वो छोड़ रहा है, तो वो इग्नोरेंस वाला बोला जा रहा है, या फिर उसको पता ही नहीं है और वो क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है, नॉलेज नहीं है, उसको छोड़ने कैसे बोल रहे हैं?
Okay. So when you discuss about moha, now somebody is also in bodily discomfort, so he may also develop some other moha. It is possible. He may think that, okay, why to do so much? So that is can also be one another bewilderment. But here, what is mentioned here by illusion, as Prabhupada also mentioned for cooking, Work for material satisfaction must be given up, but activities which are promote to spiritual activity like cooking, okay, this is a starting the description of three tyaga. The Lord here described the tamasic tyaga. Giving up daily activities is not recommended. To reject the nitya karma out of ignorance of the meaning of the scriptures. So what is mentioned? One is rejecting the nitya karma out of ignorance of the meaning of the scripture is called tamasic tyaga. Hmm. The sannyasi can reject kama karma, but since they are not obligatory, but nitya karmas are not to be rejected. So instead of attainment of knowledge, the result of tamasic tyaga is ignorance instead of attainment of knowledge. So basically, knowledge of Shastra has to be there, proper. Hmm. If somebody is giving up also something at certain stage, there has to be given up something at certain stage. There has to be accepted something at certain stage. So knowledge has to be there. So here the question is not of bodily discomfort or fear. It's mainly of the knowledge. He does not have the scriptural knowledge. Hmm. He might have heard from somewhere here and there कि सुन लिया अज्ञानता में कर दिया उसने काम तो वो हो गया. So he's not able to follow. Like modern doctors say that you should eat अंडा खाओ. अभी ब्राह्मण हो क्षत्रिय कोई भी अंडा खाओ. तो अभी क्या है ये प्रिस्क्राइब ड्यूटी को भंग करने जैसा है. मतलब अंडा नहीं खाना है तो वो अंडा खाएगा.
Mm.
So I'm giving another example here. Means that because of ignorance, he does not have knowledge, so he's hearing from anyone and then following. In a similar way, whenever people follow something, they with some strictness, it means they have some faith in ignorance. Some ignorance is there in that they have faith. Like Ravana had a faith. Hiranyakashipu had a faith. They also had a faith, but their faith is in ignorance. By killing people, I will become happy. By enjoying people, I become happy. Like that. So moha is there. Arjuna, he was in moha. He was not knowing. Therefore, he says that Krishna, I do not know whether I should fight or not. He's not saying I have bodily pain. I'm fearful of Bhishma. No, he's saying I am totally bewildered. I do not know what is my duty. So that is tyaga in mode of ignorance. Okay. So now kaya klesh bhayat tyajit. If somebody is giving up because of bodily problem, like somebody has to cook food, खाना बनाना है, नहीं खाना नहीं बनेगा, अभी हम रेस्टोरेंट में खाएंगे. रेस्टोरेंट में खाना मतलब ये क्या है? कभी कभी ठीक है, समटाइम इट्स ओके, पीपल में डिजायर सम ऑल टुगेदर पिकनिक like in one family, the devotee family. The wife wanted to go to temple and eat, and husband says, "You always like to eat opulent food, and that's why you want to go there. And what about me? Who will cook for me?" So then wife was sometime, "अरे temple में क्या problem है? खा सकते हैं ना?" So no, again टेम्पल में खा सकते हैं, बट ड्यूटी भी है, घर में भी खिलाना है सबको. सब लोग टेम्पल में नहीं जाएंगे तो फिर कैसे होगा? So sometimes there is some problem happens here. So then it is understood that then she has to do the duty. Otherwise वो पैशन में हो जाएगा.
No,
राजसम त्याग हो जाएगा.
Puji, I want to I have one example. I don't know. So I want to understand from that perspective कि वो mode of ignorance है या फिर ये mode of passion में renunciation है. So क्योंकि अभी ऐसे passion वाला बात कर रहे हैं, passion में ऐसे more of like कि person is more self-centered. That मुझे bodily discomfort ना हो, मुझे problem ना हो.
करेक्ट.
और जो ignorance वाला है उसमें ये है कि मतलब उसको knowledge ही नहीं है या फिर वो कह रहा है कि मुझे मैं मोहग्रस्त ना हो जाऊं. Like that.
हाँ.
So like an example which I think is when we attend these seminars on like Grastha Ashram, so like when we see that modern people they don't want to have children. So now there is a new word called as DINK, double income, no kids. So people want to have double income and no kids. So why? So there are two reasons for it. So one people say that we don't want to have children because my this fear will be there, body discomfort is there will be so much of pain, there will be my independence will be lost and all that. And second is that like sometimes devotee also took some decisions that I may get attached to the children, so let's not have children.
Hmm.
So what is, which one is in, एक तो समझा हुआ कि ना कि अपने लिए जो आ रहा है कि मुझे डिस्कम्फर्ट होगा, so that is in mode of passion, necessary mode of passion. But जो ये आ रहा है कि uh, I'll be getting attached to the children, I will not be able to like knowledge नहीं है उस चीज़ का, तो वो ignorance ही हो रहा है. पर ignorance वाला तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि it is even better because person is not thinking about himself. He's coming beyond his discomfort and thinking like from other side, like, so wo confusion I'm not able to get.
Hmm.
I don't know I'm explained properly or
Okay,
not.
okay. Correct. Now, in modern times, this is also another thing is people are getting married later. So many times, actually minimum people should have two children, at least minimum. Because according to Shastra also, if somebody has one child, it is said it's still not बोलते हैं कि वो बाज ही नहीं है. मतलब again, it's not to judge someone, but just to say that it's not because sometimes some children come to us and say, I don't have any sibling. So they keep on saying. So then sibling, sometimes what happens, children, they want to play with among themselves, brother, sister. So it is good to have at least home में ही झगड़ा करेंगे, कुछ भी करेंगे, at least minimum दो तो it's good. अगेन इट्स नॉट अगेन वैदिक के टाइम के हिसाब से तो बहुत चाहिए, बट ऐसे मॉडर्न टाइम से भी देखा जाए तो अफोर्डेबल है टू पीपल, because parents cannot play with children all the times, so they need somebody who can play at their age. So when sometimes child may want to ask something but then parents say hey chup, then the child will compare his attitude with parents. Parents are saying not to ask and I will not ask. But when he sees his brother also asking, is there Papa wo मांग रहा है, तो then Papa will think whom to whom I should make up shut up. उसको चुप करो किसको चुप करो, नहीं पापा चाहिए नहीं पापा चाहिए. तो अभी क्या है, they keep on playing and they keep on desiring and asking. So then he understand I have to follow my children. But one child, then he will not have anyone to compare with. He will always compare with parents. So therefore, it creates a problem. Or his playmates are outside of home, and therefore many times the children become mum. They don't want to make any friendship outside because many times so parents also say hey, asat sanga, asat sanga, asat sanga. So that also creates fear in them. So, but when same people are there, so they can nicely play and they can exchange, they can fight, everything happens actually. So these are the minimum, at least two. Now, modern times again, the marriages are happening very late. So that's why the body also, after age of 40, is very difficult to have children. Very, matlab, quite difficult. If somebody is marrying at 20 years, he can have three, four children, four, five children. It is possible. As the age goes by 40, it's become difficult. Hmm. So, yes, uh, at the same time, the family's construction, structure, and the satisfaction has to be met. So, it's a great sacrifice. Therefore, our whole education system is responsible for that. Hmm. What has to happen at what age should be followed? Then it will be more conducive for both. Again, not to create judge anyone as a or a wife or to husband, but the whole thing is the age when somebody is marrying, that is very late. Mm. So then their asakti for children goes away. As you said that somebody says I don't want to become attached to children, why? Because that time is for spiritual advancement. When somebody comes to 40, 45, they want to give a family life and they want to practice spiritual life. When you say no, I would 100% say no. Man, woman at the age of 20 will say I don't want to have a child, because at the age of 20 they are passionate and they want to have a child. They may not be coming for classes, spiritual classes, but when they come to 40, 45 age, they will surely want to have. So their mind is taxed, अरे क्या करना है, ये करना है कि वो करना है. So the whole problem is not their wish, but they are marrying at a later age. So they are totally complexities there in the mind. Hmm. So this is a reality. This is a reality. And that's why the children also, if the children are born at early age, they will be highly powerful, strong. They can be decisive in their life. They can be leaders in their life. They can take decisions because everything what they have to get from their parents in the youth they have got. because their parents' body was very mature that time when they were born. So they got everything from their parents. And the parent also shared their experience of their life, and they were also in that jovial mood that time. When parents at the age of 40, then they're not in too much jovial mood. They're very much serious. तो देन बच्चे को लगता है क्या है, मैं बहुत सीरियस हो गया. So ये मैं these are the differences actually happening in the therefore uh, our education system, I keep on saying, as Prabhupada said, is a slaughterhouse, is a nescience. Mm. So rather than again pointing on people, we should understand that we are in the wrong situation actually. At the same time, how to improve? What is the practical? So practical one is to see, discuss with guru and counselors. It is important. One needs to advance in spiritual life at certain age. At the same time, one is to also maintain family. The both has to be seen how this has to be balanced. But the principle applies. Kaya klesha before 40 age, if somebody's early age and saying I'm kaya klesha, then it is not good. Then bhayat tyajayit, bhay ke karan se, because certain fear of failure, certain fear of rejection, like in earlier in India, when girl children were born, then people used to say, "I girl has been born." So then bhayat tyajit, oh, we'll give up girl children. So then this is bhayat this, or for any duty also bhayat tyajit, like people giving up their work. Now this fear, and so why now, like AI has come. So AI gives comfort to people, so they do not have to work. Now, like one person, he called me. He said, "Prabhu, I don't have my बेटे का जॉब लगा दो." तो मैंने बोला भेजो अपना रिज्यूमे, देखता हूँ मैं. So then he was helping us in certain way. So I said, okay, send. I will try to with some devotee. Then after sending also, then interview also happened. Then again he's behind me. कि, oh, Prabhu, please help him to get job. I said, Baba, I am not. मैं थोड़ी job देने वाला हूँ. I cannot force devotees to give them job, to give him also job, because ultimately he has to get job. Then he has to come in Pune and he has to personally find out, meet with so many people and try. You cannot be sitting in some other place and then thinking that I will give you a job. Again, it's a kaya klesh. We are becoming very lazy also. कोई तो मेरे को जॉब लगा के दे दे. मेहनत भी हम नहीं करना चाहते क्योंकि वो टेंडेंसी नहीं है, हटा दिया गया है. और डर भी है फेलियर का. तो ये हो जाता है रजोगुण में. इसको, इस स्टेटमेंट को आप कहीं कई कई जगह पे लगा सकते हो, बट ये देश काल परिस्थिति के हिसाब से. ओके, तो नए बहुत, तो दिस डन.
तो ये वाला क्लियर हो रहा है, पैशन वाला. कि पैशन में मतलब कि पर्सन इज मोर सेल्फ सेंटर्ड, कि मुझे डिस्कम्फर्ट ना हो, मेरा फ्रीडम ना जाए, और मोस्टली इट्स लाइक अ लेजीनेस वाला जो पार्ट हो गया, तो उसकी वजह से पर्सन इज रिनाउंसिंग. बट जो इग्नोरेंस वाला है वो क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है मुझे, कि वो
इग्नोरेंस में
मोह
नॉलेज
क्यों,
नहीं है उसको, सिंपल है.
नॉलेज ही नहीं है. और तो मोह वाला क्यों पार्ट बोला गया, व्हाई दैट मोह इज बीइंग यूज्ड?
That's why he's convinced in some other way, na. That's what I'm saying, na. He's convinced in some other way. He's a moha. When somebody
ओके,
does not
नॉलेज नहीं है
have,
तो गलत नॉलेज यूज करके जस्टिफाई कर रहे हैं उसको.
yes. Like Arjuna was saying, I don't want to fight. I, don't, I will take some renunciation. I will go and begging karunga.
ओके.
Begging karunga. So he has the confidence that I will become beggar. But Krishna is saying you cannot become beggar. At the
ओके,
same
सो
time, he's confused also. He's confused also. Then he sometimes his mind is saying, no, I have to fight. I have to fight. Oh, no. How can I fight? So like that is a moha. He's not clearly, he cannot come to know. And here is a bodily problem. It's a, ये लेजी व्यक्ति है, ये मतलब हार्ड वर्क नहीं करना चाहता, ये काया क्लेश. ही डज नॉट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज माय ड्यूटी, कि मैं करना ही चाहिए, इवन दो आई हैव बॉडली क्लेश, बट still I should do my duty. Bhayat tyajit, even though somebody is failing, again he has to still do his duty. Like that. So again, Krishna's instruction for Satguna is become detached from result. If somebody doing his duty not just to because attached of result, but doing his duty so that he has to do the duty. and he has to become successful in the world. Otherwise, Krishna says you cannot maintain your body. But again, whatever result comes, he has to accept it. If result comes lower, then you become depressed. No. Again, you work hard. Again, you do your duty. Result may come good. If not, did not come, again you work hard. So nitya karma you cannot stop. At the same time, one can change one's direction of work also. Doesn't mean to say that one has to just work at the same field again and again and then find a failure and then become morose. No. Change the field, that you can, but you have to work. Even though one knows the performance of nitya karma is necessary and to do is it is praiseworthy and to neglect it, it is sinful. Even though he knows it, if one rejects the action thinking it useless trouble to body, is known as राजसिक त्याग. अरे कौन करेगा इसको? पता है नहीं करना मुझे. This is very very important. It's a राजसिक. Even if he knows, knowledge भी है और वो sinful है, उसे छोड़ना. बट फिर भी बॉडली तकलीफ नहीं होने के कारण नहीं होना चाहिए, मेरे तकलीफ नहीं करेगा. Like example, I will give an example. Like I have some preaching program. I have to go 20 kilometer far. I have to give one lecture. I have to just give one lecture. I will think, अरे यार 20 किलोमीटर कौन जाएगा यार, एक लेक्चर के लिए कौन जाएगा है? हे, किसी और को बोल दो. इट्स राजसिक. If I have really some problem, I have some bodily issues, then it is okay, understandable. But just because of some bodily tension will come, this thing will come. होता है कई बार, ऐसा होता है कई बार लोग सोचते हैं अरे ये कौन करेगा यार, छोड़ो. हम्म. So what we are talking about prescribed duty. I'm not talking about anything and everything. Prescribed duty, whatever one has to do, prescribed, he must do. That is what we are talking here. Yes.
Like for example, Prabhupada went to Russia. He met just one devotee, but now there's a revolution. And if he would have like refrained from going there कि कौन जाएगा वहाँ कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री है पीछे कैसे होगा, we would not have got this result now.
You know, correct, very nice example. Book distribution creates lot of bodily problem. Means बहुत वो distress होता है. Like we brahmachari, we go to schools and distribute. Every year we think at the end, अगले साल नहीं करना है. ये बहुत टेंशन का काम है बाबा, 6 महीने का टेंशन है. Every year we think like that, and once again arrives next year, आज चालू हो जाता है, फिर बोलते हैं चलो यार जाके करके आते हैं. So somehow it's some inspiration is there. Otherwise, like you all must have seen in temple also, every year some keep on going on some inspiration. अभी ये चालू हो गया, अभी क्या है, अभी अभी भाद्र पूर्णिमा आने वाला है, चैतन्य चैत्र वो भागवतम, फिर उसके बाद फिर आएगा गीता, फिर उसके बाद चैतन्य चरितमृत, फिर दोबारा भागवत, फिर गीता, चैतन्य, देन जन्माष्टमी कम इन बिटवीन. ओके, फंड कलेक्शन, लाओ लाओ चलो जाओ जाओ फंड कलेक्शन. मैं सम टाइम अरे कौन जाएगा यार, कौन जाएगा डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना, ये लो पैसा बांट दो बुक, मुझे नहीं जाना है. So again, for us to come to do these things also as an institute, we may say that it's institutional, no, but it's also prescribed to us, because if you want to advance in spiritual life, as Prabhupada says, sannyasi should not cook for himself, but for Lord he has to cook. So when we are doing our duties in our life, at the same time, we can also choose some duties I must do. And for doing those duties, we should not make cut corners saying I don't want to do because of bodily problems. उठना नहीं है या मुझे नहीं जाना है उधर. So this is not good. One must do that. And by doing so, we are setting example for our kids, which is very, very important. So, like one Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj gave a small talk. He was Easy Eddie. Easy Eddie. So he was saying that Easy Eddie was a person in America, California. He was a very great lawyer. And this lawyer, he was such an intelligent lawyer. All the mafias in California area, whatever wrong activity they used to do, he used to get them relief from or get them bailed out. So any problem happened, they were put behind the bars, but he will again take them out by his knowledge, by his lawyer work. So then later he became parent. Then he saw that I have a child. Now what example I'm going to set for my child? I'm a good lawyer. I can take out anyone out of the jail by my knowledge, by my expertise. But is this a good example for my child? Then he decided that I should get all this mafia caught once again. And this will set a right example for my child. And he understood that by doing so, he will be killed. And he was killed. The mafia shot him dead. And they were also caught. So later, Maharaj said the next story where the Japanese were attacking US ship. So on the US ship, the many jet flights, what you call jet fighter. So they jet fighters, they were launching from the ship. So the one of the pilot from US Air Force. So when he took off the jet flight, so then in between he realized that my fuel in the fuel tank is not complete, it's not full, and I have to go back. So then he informed the other 8 people, those who are also flying, okay, I'm going back because my fuel tank is not full, and I may anytime feel means short of the fuel, and then I may drown in the ocean only. So then he went back. While going back, the Japanese 9 flight jet fighters, they came and attacked on him, and then he fought with them alone person, and then his means his bullets also fall short of his fuel also falls short of. Somehow he made them so much nuisance in that area that all these 5 jet drowned in the ocean, and 4 they left back, and then he landed there. So the Maharaj was saying, so who was this personality? He was a child of Easy, or he was son of Easy. So he was saying ki you can see what example father set and what he also did. Basically, he sacrificed his life and he fought so violently and so nice way that he got a what you call puraskar in America. And therefore one airport was on his name.
O'Hare Airport.
Yeah, O'Hare Butch. So why this is? Because he learned from his father. So Maharaj was saying like that. So then one sets the example by one's activity. So when we are lazy, then our children will also think, oh, Papa भी वैसे ही है, तो हम भी वैसे ही बनेंगे, क्या दिक्कत है? So they are getting from us. So therefore, what we do, one thing is what we speak, and then another thing what we do. So doing attracts people more. Speaking will attract after we do. So then when we do, we'll speak with confidence and our speech will have value. So then it will inspire people also. Even knowing that performing prescribed actions with no desire is a cause of liberation, if the desire of liberation gives up those actions out of fear of bodily pain, kaya klesh bhayat, such having difficulty to obtain the materials for sacrifice or disliking the discomfort of morning bath, like the sea, subah nahana nahi, his renunciation in the mode of passion, since such experience of discontent is the quality of mode of passion. Like sometimes children, they don't want to go to school because they have to wake up early. In ठंडी के दिनों में जाना है. They have to do homework, or they have to learn their lessons. So this is again mode of passion. कार्यम इति एव यत् कर्म नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन संगम त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव सत्याग सात्विको मता.
O Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in mode of goodness.
Because one who performs his prescribed duty only because it is out to be done and renounces all material association and attachment to the fruit. So this is a real renunciation. People ask now, why I should do work if there is no impetus for doing work, no attachment to result. This is what Krishna says here. Just because it has to be done. ये करना है मतलब करो बस. इसको बोलते हैं, ये जस्ट इतना ही सोच के कोई करता है तो इसको बोलेंगे वो रिनंसिएशन में है व्यक्ति। ही इज नॉट अटैच टू रिजल्ट ऑफ हिज वर्क, दैट इज रिकमेंडेड। जाना है, करना है बस। दैट्स व्हाई some any people ask question from Bhakti Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, how to become humble? Become humble. Maharaj, how to become clean? Become clean. How to become responsible? Become responsible. मतलब उसके लिए क्या आंसर है? कोई आंसर नहीं है, बस करना है तो करना है। तो उसके लिए 10 10 लेक्चर देने की क्या जरूरत है? इसलिए पहले के लोग क्या बोलते, ए जो बोला करो। और आजकल के लोग सुनना नहीं चाहते, वो क्यों? जो बोला वो करो। तो और बेसिकली जो है वो करो, जो है वो करो। तो ये यही एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज है जो कि हमारे इंडिया का खासियत है। हमारे इंडिया में जो संस्कार ऐसे है ना, जो है वो है। सुबह उठ के क्या करना है, बाद में क्या करना है, कोई आ गया गेस्ट तो क्या करना है, मतलब काफी कुछ संस्कार इनबिल्ट है। सिखाने का जरूरत नहीं है ज्यादा। तो उसको फॉलो करना चाहिए, बिकॉज वो है। अगेन कुछ ज्यादा है, कुछ कस्टमरी है, बट इट्स नॉट बेस्ड ऑन नॉलेज, तो देन दैट हैज टू बी डिस्कस्ड एंड चेंज। बट कहने का मतलब जो है वो है। Prescribed duties must be performed with this mentality. One should act without attachment for the result. He should be disassociated from the modes of work. Hmm? A man working in Krishna consciousness in a factory does not associate himself with the work of the factory, nor with the workers of the factory. He simply works for Krishna. And when he gives up the result for Krishna, he is acting transcendently. You see, Prabhupada. So one can act in factory also. Hmm. But how? He should not associate with the people and work of the factory. Mm. He had to think that I'm doing for Krishna. Now again, Prabhupada is not mentioning factory वो गला काटने वाला factory है या slaughter house. So one has to take care कि it should not be so much gross sinful. At the same time, if somebody is working in some factory, जूता बनाने वाली factory या बैग बनाने वाले whatever factory, so one has to think that I am working for Krishna, and then he has to give result to Krishna, hmm? Not become attached to the people or place or work of the factory. No. Performing the Nitya Karma, thinking that should be done while rejecting the doership and desired result is called Satvik Tyag. It is understood here that the result of renouncing the fruit and not renouncing the action is in Satvik Tyag in knowledge. As much as prescribed actions are done daily with the idea that they should be done karyam and that should be performed giving up, they should be performed giving up identification as a doer, eh, and giving up all the results phalam. See, कभी कभी क्या होता है, आप कोई भी वर्क करते हो तो आप उसे अटैच हो जाते हो। हम सबका ये आदत है, जैसे हमने कोई सेवा किया है तो मुझसे अटैच हो जाते हैं, हमको यही चाहिए, कोई सेवा बदलने का नहीं, ये नहीं हुआ। तो इसका मतलब है वी बिकम अटैच टू वर्क। So here it is mentioned, not even becoming attached to work. Does not associate himself with the work of the factory, nor with the workers of the factory, and not even the result of the work. So sometimes it happens, it becomes difficult actually. Hmm. Uh, Somebody said you give up your seva, you do some other seva, तो then become difficult for that person. तो फिर वो क्या है, वो डूअरशिप का मेंटलिटी आ जाता है उस व्यक्ति में, कि मैं तो, मेरे को क्यों निकाला जा रहा है या मेरे को क्यों सेवा बदलने को बोला जा रहा है। तो डूअरशिप का मेंटलिटी भी छोड़ना है हमको। एंजॉयरशिप तो छोड़ना है, रिजल्ट को एंजॉय नहीं करना है, बट एट द सेम टाइम डूअरशिप का मेंटलिटी, कि मेरे बिना ये काम होगा नहीं, मैं नहीं करूंगा तो मेरा जिंदगी में क्या होगा। सो this doership and enjoyership, because this is the main bondage. In introduction of Gita we read the false ego has two division, creator and enjoyer. Creator मतलब doership। तो फॉल्स ईगो हमको क्यों फंसाया हुआ है संसार में, मैं करता हूं और मैं भोगता हूं। तो कभी कभी हम भोगता निकालते हैं लेकिन करता फंस जाता है वहीं पे। सो वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड, कल को आप हमको सिंपल भी चीज दे दिया, हमें रेडी होना चाहिए करने के लिए, ठीक है करेंगे। हाँ, गुरु की इच्छा है करेंगे, कोई इशू नहीं है। हम्म। इसलिए कभी कभी गुरु महाराज कुछ ऐसे कार्य देंगे जो तकलीफ वाले होंगे, लेकिन करना पड़ेगा वो। क्यों? बोला है करने को, करना पड़ेगा। हम्म। कभी कभी उसमें रिजल्ट भी नहीं होगा, अभी क्या करें, करना पड़ेगा। तो दैट्स वाई द ट्रेनिंग in Satuguna is like that. One should not become attached to the work also. If sometimes it will change, he should be ready. And one should not become attached to result also. Yes, Prabhu.
Be one example in this, so that one has to be very thoroughly be like knowing about what dharma is, so what a
Hmm.
prescribed duty is. So then one can be in mode of goodness.
Hmm.
Like for example, once what happened that I know a devotee, he was not getting married,
Hmm.
and he went to astrologer, and the astrologer said that you don't get married, your married life will be a pathetic life.
Hmm.
So due to that fear, he didn't wanted to get married only. Then he consulted some senior devotees, and they said even though it may be pathetic, not successful, but still it's your dharma to get married.
Hmm.
Go and get married. And then after a lot of discussion, then he got married, and it's going good.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
then he again went back to his seniors, and they said that even though it may not have been successful, one still your duty was to get married. So for the
Correct.
knowing of dharma is very important.
Yes, yes. This is important. Even in Vedic times, somebody who's a brahmachari student from age of 7 to 15 age. Or you can take 5 also, no issue. 5 to 15, 16 or 17 age. After then, when he used to pass out, has to be ceremony for that. Ki now he's passing out. Now he will become grihastha. So for the period when he is passing out from ashram, brahmachari, and then he's not going to grihastha ashram, that period is called sinful period. Means in that period he cannot perform even any yagya. He cannot go out of home also. मतलब बाहर भी नहीं जाना है। मतलब क्या है वो, वैदिक टाइम्स का बता रहा हूँ मैं आपको। मीन्स ही शुड नॉट वेस्ट, ही शुड नॉट बी सीन लाइक अनएम्प्लॉयड। इसको लाइक रामानुजाचार्य, दिस वन स्टेटमेंट, आश्रम न तिष्ठेत। हाँ, अन्य आश्रम न तिष्ठेत। सो दिस स्टेटमेंट, गोविंदा, द गोविंदा वाज a servant of Ramanujacharya, but Govinda was brother of Ramanujacharya. So then his Govinda was married. So then his mother-in-law, he complained to Ramanujacharya कि your servant, he is married to my daughter, but he is not working as a grihastha only. He is living with you. So then Ramanujacharya said, "Hey, you go back. You go back and live with your wife in dark. In night you stay with your wife. Eh? Bas, where nobody is there. Go there." And then this person went, and there was night, dark, and he was discussing Krishna Katha with wife. Krishna Katha discussion. Then day came. Subah आ गया. Then he came back to Ramanujacharya and then said, I stayed with my wife. So then the mother-in-law again complained, Harry, he stayed, but he never lived like a grihastha. Then Ramanujacharya said, so he made a statement, I'm not remembering. He said, ki, if you are not in any ashram at any time, it is sinful. So you are neither as a grihastha nor you are a sannyasi. So which is your ashram? So he said, कि now you take sannyas. You don't want to become grahastha, then he gave him sannyas. उनको संन्यास दिया। तो कहने का मतलब क्या है कि किस आश्रम इंपॉर्टेंट है, कोई बीच में मध्यस्थ में नहीं रहना चाहिए। किसी भी पीरियड लाइफ का आश्रम में रहना चाहिए। या तो विवाह हो गया, नहीं तो ब्रह्मचारी है, नहीं तो वानप्रस्थ, नहीं तो संन्यास। So that's why, in order to avoid such situation, before he pass out from the ashram, people start finding how his matching पहले find out करते कि जैसे ही pass out होगा उसको विवाह कर देंगे तुरंत, ताकि वो पीरियड ही नहीं आएगा। So this is followed in the Sri Sampradaya very strictly also. कि one should not be without ashram at any time. It is a dharma once again. But now we see our modern times में सब मध्यस्थ में घूम रहे हैं। क्या चल रहा है पता नहीं लाइफ में। हम्म। तो अगर हम आश्रम को फॉलो नहीं करते, तो उससे हमारे पाप बढ़ जाते हैं। वी बिकम whimsical इन लाइफ, क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है। Acha, now he quoted example of this thing. Now the astrologer is saying ki some problem will be there. Then what he should do? Then go and take sannyas. Something he should take, na? Astrologer is foolish person. He should tell, go and take sannyas or become grahastha. Something he has to become. कुछ तो चाहिए आश्रम, नहीं तो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं लेगा वो जीवन में, बस घूमता रहेगा भक्ति के नाम पे। भी कई लोग भक्ति के नाम पे घूमते रहते हैं, हम भक्त है भक्त है। नाउ ओके, दिस इज वन एग्जांपल। Another example comes of, now I am giving, of Raghunath Bhatt Goswami. Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, he was not married and he was not living in ashram also. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't get married. You keep on serving your parents. Once their parents pass away, you just come and join me. You become sannyasi. This is another thing. अरे बाबा, चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने ऐसा कैसे एकदम आश्रम के अपोजिट इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया? But he said, but don't get married. Don't get married. Serve your parents till your parents are there, and once they pass out, you come and join me. So we should understand this also as an instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is another one instruction. And the instruction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives to Raghunath Das Goswami, that Markat Vairagi na bani. That you are Grihastha and you are becoming Markat Vairagi means you are not working as a Grihastha, you are running away. Don't do like that. Internal, when somebody is Grihastha, he should have internal Vairagi. Externally, he should be attached, showing attachment to the world. But internally, he is detached. So you should do your duty. But he was trying to follow for a certain time, but he was thinking that I am not fit for Grihastha ashram, I want to go out. So then he ran away from house. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu later accepted him actually. These are the example from our sampradaya, where in between things are also, even he said to Gopal Bhatt Goswami also, he said that Venkat Bhatt was the father. You keep on serving your father, mother until till the time they are alive, and then once they go away, you come back to Vrindavan and join the Goswamis. So देखो, हमारा खुद का भी चैतन्य महाप्रभु खुद भी गाइड कर रहे हैं. He is also telling. I quoted example of Sri Sampradaya where the rules are very strict, and I quoted example of our line where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is saying someone keep serving and then join. Okay, yes, what is the question?
Prabhuji, question like if person is not getting married and he is just working to, I mean, for serving his guru or maybe serving this the preaching mission basically, and later on maybe he leaves when parents are not there. He goes to some sacred place and lives there, but he is not part of any institution or any temple, like not a proper brahmachari, but living as a brahmachari one within his house only. What kind of, I mean, awesome will be that?
See, both examples as we quoted, both Ramanuchar is involved and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is involved, and we can quote example from Prabhupada also. So Prabhupada also did certain things, like he gave sannyas to such people who may not be qualified for sannyas, but Prabhupada wanted them to participate in spreading the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Prabhupada gave them, and he took care of their spiritual life also. Like one sannyasi fell down, again Prabhupada said, again give him sannyas, again he fell down. So it happened because Prabhupada was needing, he required their help, he required their contribution in the society. So now whatever these activities which we are seeing that against principle of Shastra, it has to be done under the direction of some powerful personality, spiritual personality, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, and even some recent Guru Maharajas. So then that person should be fully dedicated to Guru. Then it is okay, no issue. You are following some great Vaishnava, you are under his protection, then go ahead. कोई issue नहीं है. Whatever happens, you will be always taking his shelter, you are protected. तो देखो, इसलिए ये भी एक मार्ग है. जैसे कई लोग हैं, अभी भी है मध्यस्थ में है, ना इधर के ना उधर के, बट गुरु की सेवा करते हैं, then Guru is ready to take care of them, then okay, go ahead. है थोड़ा रिस्क तो है इसमें, इट्स रिस्की, बट इफ गुरु इज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ देम एंड दे आर अंडर हिज शेल्टर देन ओके गो हेड। इसलिए थोड़ा सा ISKCON again is not exactly Vedic. Prabhupada many times mentions in Bhagavad Gita purport also we saw that. Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness goes beyond Vedic formulas. If somebody according to Vedas, this should be done. But Guru says in Krishna consciousness, no, don't do that, do this thing. So then Guru is giving him Krishna conscious instruction to make him Krishna conscious. So then his instruction should be followed. तो इसीलिए our gurus are not simply like only learned in the Vedic literature. These gurus are Krishna conscious, which can change some rules also according to their mature Krishna consciousness. तो ये हमें समझना, बट ये मैं फिर भी बता रहा हूँ फॉर जर्नल पीपल दोज आर नॉट वेरी मच डेडिकेटेड और सरेंडर टू गुरु, फॉर जर्नल पीपल इट्स गुड दैट दे शुड फॉलो द जर्नल रूल्स. So like that. That's why somebody asking should we have a children because we want to produce we want to practice a spiritual life. So now these things should be asked from guru, because according to general rule one should have more than one children. But again, if one does not want, then one has to ask guru. Guru says okay, practice a spiritual life, then go ahead, but take shelter of some superior person who can protect, because these things are big decisions in life. Like somebody asked Radhanath Maharaj, Maharaj, we don't wanted to have a children. So Maharaj said, they said that please give us blessing. So Maharaj said, when you want to have children, I will give you blessing. So Maharaj said other way. So what does it mean? So again, it's a certain case. I'm not generalizing the rule. So Maharaj is not giving empowerment for spiritual. They want to advance in spiritual life by saying that we don't want to have children. But Maharaj says, when you want to have children, I will give you blessing. Don't ask me blessing for right that or for right now. So Maharaj does not want to empower in that way. So, okay, then follow whatever Maharaj says, then follow. So anyone, either Grihastha or Brahmachari, they should follow spiritual personality. So Guru, it's important so that we can be protected in our life. Na dveshti akushalam karma kusale nanu sajjate tyagi sattva samavishto medhavi chinna samsayah.
The intelligent renouncer situated in mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspiciousness, neither hateful of inauspicious work, nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work.
Na dveshti akusalam karma. Okay, the intelligent renouncer situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful or of inauspicious work, nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubt about the work. देखो क्या बोला है इसने. So he does not hate inauspicious work and he not attached to auspicious work. कितना अच्छा एग्जाम्पल दिया भगवान ने. So na dveshti akushalam karma, kushale nanu sajjate, and is not very happy in kushala work. त्यागी, इसको त्यागी बोलते हैं, ये सतगुण का त्यागी है. मेधावी छिन्न संशय, मेधावी, ही इज अ इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन. A person in Krishna consciousness or in the mode of goodness does not hate anything or anyone or anything which troubles his body. He does not work. He does work in the proper place at the proper time without fearing the troublesome effects of his duty. Such a person situated in transcendence should be understood to be the most intelligent and beyond all doubts in his activity. So, and here given this verse describes the characteristics of one fixed in the Sattvic Tyag. Akushalam means those activity which bring suffering to the body, such as bathing during winter. Kushalam means those activity which are pleasurable for the body, such as bathing during summer. गर्मी में नहाना अच्छा लगता है, ठंडी में नहीं. This verse describes the quality of renunciate in the mode of goodness. He does not hate which gives pain, akushalam, such as taking bath in the winter. He is not attached to that which gives him comfort, kusle, such as bathing during the. Okay, done. This is because he is firmly fixed in the sattva samavishtaha, and thus very discerning. Note, seeing things as they are is the quality of satguna. That intelligence is steady, medhavi. And because he does not doubt that performance of prescribed actions under difficult circumstances will produce knowledge, such a person is known as a renunciate in mode of goodness. It means who can have renunciation actually, who will have a knowledge. Okay, so वैराग्य comes after knowledge. So जब तक knowledge नहीं आएगा वैराग्य अच्छे से पकता नहीं है. Vairagya cannot become ripened unless the knowledge is ripe. Okay, but it does not mean that then how one should get knowledge. So one has to work in the mood of renunciation so that knowledge should dawn. And when knowledge should dawn, then that it will fructify the renunciation more. उसको और पकाएगा renunciation को. Then again one has to work in renunciation and then knowledge will become more stronger. So this is the thing actually. And if the knowledge is, if one is not becoming renounced or not becoming knowledgeable, it means he has worked with attachment. When we work with attachment, the knowledge does not become ripened. And then the vairagya ko bhuli jao. That is why these ashramas are also made. मेनी टाइम बानप्रस्थ लेने में या ब्रह्मचारी बनने में लोग को बहुत डर लगता है या संन्यास लेने में भी डर लगता है. द रीजन इज दिस actually one has to work in the mood of renunciation, in the spirit of renunciation, and for that one has to be trained. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not say Kurma Brahman in South India to take sannyas because he was telling, I have been troubled in my family, I want to go away. I want to go with you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, कबू ना कही बा दोबारा ऐसी बात कभी कभी मत बोलना. Just chant Hare Krishna and preach. यारा देखो तारा कहो कृष्ण उपदेश. So why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said? Because he was not qualified that time. He was not trained. His vairagya is not that much. He's just trying to imitate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he did not give him instruction like that. And Prabhupada mentions in that purport in Kali Yuga, people are not trained in a brahmachari, grahastha, then banpra. So therefore, for them to take sannyas is very difficult. So, or for even banprastha also, because they are not trained in a proper brahmacharya. So the thing is that the knowledge has to become ripened, then the vairagya comes later. So once the knowledge becomes ripened, the person will start working in a renounced spirit. And when you start working, then the knowledge becomes more ripened, then renunciation again, then knowledge, then renunciation. So like that. So renunciation is not a day, it's not achievements in one day. Today my spiritual master said, I have to follow, I will follow. अरे कैसे फॉलो करेगा और है क्या उतना renunciation? Then one has to work simultaneously. धीरे धीरे उसे gradually work करना है in the mood of spirit of renunciation. Work, work, work. Don't become attached to result, don't become attached to work. And then go ahead, then the knowledge will awaken and it will become, your renunciation will become solidified. तो ये एक important चीज है जो यहाँ पे बताया गया है. At the same time, the word used by Krishna is called medhavi, chinna samsaya. Only intelligent person can finish up his doubt. इंटेलिजेंट मेधावी बनना पड़ेगा व्यक्ति, बुद्धू व्यक्ति नहीं कर सकता ये. सतगुणा का क्वालिटी क्या है? सतगुण मीन्स टू नो थिंग्स एज दे आर. इफ यू नो द थिंग्स एज दे आर, नो आवर पोटेंशियल, नो आवर वीकनेस, नो अदर्स पोटेंशियल, नो अदर्स वीकनेस, नो योर सराउंडिंग, नो द थिंग्स, that is satguna. It means satguna person should have knowledge. So how to be go in satguna? Have knowledge. When you have knowledge and when you practice your duties with the spirit of renunciation, then that knowledge becomes solidified. तो knowledge हमारे को realize होता है धीरे धीरे. तो नॉलेज तो चाहिए ही. बिना अच्छा कोई नॉलेज नहीं, नॉलेज ये मतलब नहीं जीरो नॉलेज, ठीक है, कोई एकदम ज्ञानी की तरह नहीं पढ़ रहा है चलेगा, अपना वर्क भी कर रहा है रिनाउंसिएशन में, तो वो नॉलेज आएगा उसको, लेकिन नॉलेज तो कहीं ना कहीं से पढ़ना ही है, उसको सुनना ही है, वो तो इंपॉर्टेंट है. एट द सेम टाइम यू हैव टू वर्क इन द स्पिरिट ऑफ रिनाउंसिएशन. मेधावी छिन्न संशय नहीं देह वृताशक्यम त्यक्तुम कर्माण्य अशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफल त्यागी सत्यागी abhidhiyate. Yes.
It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced.
It is indeed impossible for embodied being to give up all activities, but he renounces the fruit of action. तो ये तो we have understood this. So नहीं देह वृता साख्यम त्यक्तुम कर्माणि अशेषतः. Altogether, one cannot give up karmani. Asheshata altogether. One cannot give up his karma. One who cannot give up deha vrit. One who is having this body, who is maintaining this body, or who is maintained by this body, you can say whatever, vrita. Because this body is there, that's why we are there. Means basically, Atma does not require body, but in conditional life, he requires body. So, Dehavrita, one who is embodied. यस्तु कर्म फल त्यागी, उसके लिए एक ही चीज कर सकता है वो व्यक्ति. कर्म तो नहीं त्याग सकता है, लेकिन कर्म फल को त्याग सकता है. और सत्यागी इति अभिधीयते, उसी को रिनाउंसर बोलते हैं. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that one can never give up work at any time. Therefore, one who works for Krishna and does not enjoy the fruitive result, who offers everything to Krishna, is actually a renouncer. There are many members of International Society for Krishna Consciousness who work very hard in their office, in factories, or in some other place, and whatever they earn, they give to the society. Such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasi, like Jagat Bandhu Prabhu. We know that Bagh Bazaar temple. He gave all his earning to make Bagh Bazaar Mandir to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. He gave all donation, and he said at last he wrote a message that Maharaj, please, if you wish, give me a small place in the temple so that I can live my rest of my life. I have given all my savings, all my earnings to make this temple. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to glorify this Jagat Bandhu Prabhu everywhere. Such a renouncer. He is more than a sannyasi. He gave everything. Then Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was working in Coca-Cola company, and then used to bring all his money at the end of a month, and all salary used to give in the hands of Prabhupada. Prabhupada, this is the donation. Oh, what you will take, or whatever Prabhupada you want to give. Then Prabhupada used to select money and give him. So you can see they have worked in a full spirit of renunciation. Again, अब ये तो बहुत हाई एग्जाम्पल है हमारे लिए, आइडियल है. हम इतना तो नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो जो भी कहने का मतलब है कि दिस इज द हाईएस्ट एग्जाम्पल, एंड वेयर एवर वी आर वी कैन फॉलो अकॉर्डिंगली. Highly elevated, such highly elevated souls are actually sannyasis and are situated in a renounced order of life. It is clearly outlined here how to renounce the fruit of work, for what purpose fruit should be renounced. Therefore, actions ordained by scripture should not be given up. It is not possible for one with the body to give up activity. Sakyam is used for the proper word sakyani. The Lord has already said that not for a moment can a person remain without doing. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karmakrit. Third chapter भगवान ने बोला है. अनिष्ठम इष्टम मिश्रम च त्रिविधम कर्मणः फलम भवति अत्यागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्यासिनां क्वचित्. Okay, I will tell somebody else to read. Some Mataji can read. Anyone who wants to read?
Prabhuji, can I read? Mataji, please go ahead. Suman Mani Mataji.
Yes. Yes, yes, go ahead.
Next slokas, Prabhuji.
ये वाला ही पढ़िए. This.
For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such a result to suffer or enjoy.
If one is not renounced, atyagi nam, atyagi nam, hmm, atyagi nam, one who is not renounced, his action will lead to three kinds of result after death. Hmm. So what are three kinds of result? If one is not renounced, one who is अत्यागी, उसको मरने के बाद तीन रिजल्ट मिलेंगे. पहला क्या मिलेगा? इष्टम, इष्टम, इष्टम मीन्स desirable, heavenly enjoyment he will get. Okay. So for one who is not renounced or who is not working with the renounced spirit in this world, he will get three destination after death. फर्स्ट इज इष्टम, स्वर्ग मिल गया, कुछ कुछ भी चाहिए मतलब डिजायरेबल और भी है, मिल गया. दूसरा अनिष्टम, नरक में चला गया. हम्म, अनिष्टम जो भी अनिष्ट हो गया उसके साथ, अनडिजायरेबल हो गया. तीसरा मिश्रम, मतलब ह्यूमन बर्थ, ना तो ऊपर गया ना नीचे, बीच में फंस गया, वहीं पे आ गया, ह्यूमन बर्थ, मिक्स्ड. So, and one who is renounced, he has no such result to suffer or enjoy. He is free from bondage. तो ना तू सन्यासी नाम क्वचित, तो सन्यासी को ऐसा नहीं होना पड़ेगा. तो गोइंग टू स्वर्ग, गोइंग टू नरका और गोइंग टू बी बॉर्न हियर इन दिस वर्ल्ड इज ऑल बिकॉज somebody is not a त्यागी. He is not working in a mood of renunciation or in the spirit of renunciation. He is not working in like कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते, उस हिसाब से कोई काम नहीं कर. कौन कर रहा है आजकल? इसीलिए तो ये लोग स्वर्ग नरक में ही जाते रहते हैं, या तो यहीं पे दोबारा बॉर्न होंगे. So this is a destination mentioned. A person in Krishna consciousness acting in knowledge of his relationship with Krishna is always liberated. Therefore, he does not have to enjoy or suffer the result of his act after death. The fault of not following the process of tyaga is described here. Those who do not renounce in the prescribed way get result in the form of suffering of hell, anishtam, pleasure of swarga, like that is mentioned. This is not for the persons who renounce as I have declared. They attain liberation by jnana. So when somebody is working in ISKCON Karma Yoga or giving up his result, so then he will attain liberation because their jnana will become mature and then they will be freed from this world. But those who do not work in that way, they will be born in this world. And that's why you find in the Vedic literature, many instructions are given for such people. जिसको स्वर्ग जाना है स्वर्ग में जाओ, क्योंकि गीता उनके लिए है ही नहीं. गीता में डायरेक्टली बोला है कि तुम त्यागी का नहीं फॉलो करोगे तो तुम्हें स्वर्ग जाना पड़ेगा या नरक जाओगे या बीच में फंसे रहोगे, ह्यूमन बर्थ. गीता is a nivritti shastra. It is basically telling people to work in mode of goodness so that you become liberated from here. Hmm. Gita is not for those who want to be in this world, attain Swarga or going to Naraka or whatever. Therefore, sometimes Prabhupada used to say that my 80% disciples will go to Swarga. Basically, if somebody is deciding working in a mood, a spirit of enjoyment, so then he will surely go to Swarga. And he is doing chanting also. पंचेतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्.
O mighty Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of this from me.
So every action has some reaction. Some reactions are there, every action. But when we work in a spirit of renunciation, means no doership, no enjoyership. So then what happens? Then we do not have any false identification with the work, with the things of this world, anything. And that's why we become eligible for liberation. देखो लिबरेशन का फंडा एकदम क्लियर है. हम कार्य कैसे कर रहे हैं संसार में, अटैचमेंट के साथ या डिटैचमेंट के साथ? कार्य तो करना ही है. जो कार्य छोड़ दिया वो तो मोड ऑफ इग्नोरेंस में चला गया, और जो कार्य से कुछ रिजल्ट चाहता है वो मोड ऑफ पैशन में चला गया. और जो कार्य से रिजल्ट ही नहीं चाहता है, वो बस कर रहा है बिकॉज ड्यूटी है, तो वो निकल जाएगा संसार से। मतलब इस संसार में ड्यूटी करते करते आदमी निकल सकता है, बस कार्य कैसे करना है वो गीता में सिखाया है। अब यहाँ पे 5 कॉज बताने वाले जो वेदांत में मेंशन है, विच आर द रिक्वायर्ड फॉर सक्सेस इन एनी काइंड ऑफ वर्क। अकॉर्डिंग टू वेदांत है, कृष्ण इज सेइंग पंचेतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध में सांख्ये कृतांति प्रोक्तानि। So in the Vedanta Sankhya, it is mentioned the 5 karanani, what are the causes for any accomplishment. A question may be raised, since any activity performed must have some reactions, how is it that person in Krishna consciousness does not suffer or enjoy the reaction of work? The Lord is citing Vedanta philosophy to show how is it possible. Uh, he says that there are 5 causes for all activities, and for the success in all activity, one should consider these 5 causes. Sankhya means a discourse of knowledge, and Vedanta is the final discourse of knowledge accepted by all leading acharya. Even Sankara accepts Vedanta Sutra as such. Therefore, such authority should be consulted. The ultimate control is invested in the super soul. As it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Cham Hriday Sannivisto, it is engaging everyone in the certain activities by reminding him of their past actions. And Krishna conscious act done under his direction from within yield no reaction either in this life or in the life after death. So here it's mentioned the ultimate control of any accomplishment of work is in the hand of super soul. सुपर सोल के हाथ में सब कुछ है, डिसीजन लेना, किसका रिएक्शन निकलेगा किसका नहीं निकलेगा. That's why it's mentioned, if a Krishna conscious person acts under the direction of Lord, that's why he does not bear any reaction. Yagnarthat karmno anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. 3rd chapter 9th verse. If you work according to the direction of the Lord, means यज्ञ अर्थात भगवान के लिए कार्य कर रहे हो, यज्ञ के लिए कार्य कर रहे हो, so then that work will not bind you. So that's again mentioned. So now the 5 karanas for success in any field of work. So siddhaye sarva karmani. So see the 5 panchetani karanani siddhaye sarva karmanam. सभी कर्मों को सिद्धि करने वाले 5 कारण हैं. कौन कौन से अभी पढ़ते हैं. सांख्य में दिया गया है या वेदांत में दिया गया है. अल्टीमेटली ये पांचों में कौन पावरफुल है, कौन डिसाइड करने वाला है, सुपर सोल. ठीक है ना. तो यहाँ पे इसलिए बोला गया कि 5 कारण तो बोले हैं, बट वाई डू those who perform action and not obtain result? This happens because such person renounces the concept of being a doer and has a conviction that the supreme lord is the main doer. ठीक है. This 5 verses explain this principle. Know from me that the 5 causes for accomplishment of all actions, O mighty armed. The Lord then mentions the proof for this. This is described in that which produces knowledge, Sankhya. ठीक है. तो जो ये समझ जाए कि भगवान ही सब कुछ है, everything should be done for him and he is the actual doer, he becomes free from reaction of his work. Okay, this is very famous sloka. अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथक् विधं विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पंचमम्.
The
Yes.
place of action, the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action.
अभी चलो मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछूंगा. You have to, tricky question, you have to put your brain. Before understanding the whole sloka, अधिष्ठानम थोड़ा सा समझते हैं. अधिष्ठानम मतलब बॉडी, प्लेस ऑफ एक्शन. वी आर क्षेत्रज्ञ. क्षेत्र is this body and we are knower of the body. So we have to work in this kshetra, like a agriculture farmer has to work in his agriculture field to grow some crops. So if we want to have enjoyment in this world, so we have to work with this kshetra or in this kshetra. We have to work. Okay. With the knowledge that I am the doer. I am the doer in the sense I am active under the control of the Lord. Okay. Now, so one karanam is panchanani karanani. So now the first karana is for any siddhe karmanam. First is body, adhishthanam. Second is karta, performer. Karta here it comes with like atma, you can say, the doer of action. Hmm. Or the consciousness reflected in the false ego. Basically, chitta means the doer. Atma ही सोच रहा है अपने को doer. Then third is various senses, which is it comes karanam. Karanam means senses, instruments. हम किसके द्वारा कार्य कर रहे हैं, फावड़ा चला रहे हैं या हैंड से, मीन्स what are the instrument? So our senses are the instruments. We have some external instrument, it can be possible. Okay. So adhishthanam, karta, karanam, these three हो गया. चौथा क्या है? चेष्टा. चौथा क्या है? चेष्टा. एंड पांचवा क्या है? दैवम. दैवम इज फिफ्थ वन. दैवम मीन्स सुपर सोल and different kind of पृथक चेष्टा, अलग different work चेष्टा we can do, endeavor we can do. Now my question is, if a dog wants to get an IT job, if a dog wants to get an IT job, what is the principle out of these five he must have first of all, preliminary वही चाहिए. If a dog wants to get an IT job, how can he get an IT job?
Place of action.
Sister.
इसमें से कौन सा प्रिंसिपल पांचों में से इंपॉर्टेंट है, मतलब उसके लिए प्रीलिमिनरी है, पहले पहले वो तो होना ही चाहिए.
Sister.
Place of action. The body.
हाँ, तो कौन सा बॉडी?
Human body.
यस, दिस इज आंसर. फर्स्ट यू शुड हैव गेट ह्यूमन बॉडी. अधिष्ठानम. अधिष्ठानम इंपॉर्टेंट है. पहले बॉडी तो हो तभी तो आईटी जॉब करेगा, कुत्ता थोड़ी आईटी जॉब करता है. नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. If a very intelligent and hardworking wants to become successful in some, चलो आईआईटी में उसे टॉप होना है या अच्छे मार्क्स लाने हैं, पास होना है, सो विच फैक्टर इज इंपॉर्टेंट? इंटेलिजेंट भी है, हार्ड वर्किंग भी है.
सुपर सोल.
यस, दैवम. इंटेलिजेंट भी है, हार्ड वर्किंग भी है, तब दैवम इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है. उसी तरीके से कोई व्यक्ति बहुत मेहनत कर रहा है, बहुत चेष्टा बहुत है? और भाग्य भी है, लेकिन फिर भी नहीं हो पा रहा है, कुछ ज्यादा उसका सक्सेस नहीं है. क्या मतलब? मेहनत है, बहुत हार्ड वर्किंग है, भाग्य भी है, लेकिन फिर भी क्या है इसमें?
वापस सुपर सोल ही है ना प्रभु जी, बिकॉज मे बी ही इज नॉट डेस्टिन टू गेट दैट.
नो, ही इज नॉट इंटेलिजेंट. सिंपल है. कई लोग होते हैं मेहनत बहुत करते हैं, भाग्य भी साथ दे रहा है उसको, लेकिन हमेशा ऐसा नहीं सोचना कि भाग्य नहीं लेकिन वो इंटेलिजेंट ही नहीं, उसका बॉडी नहीं है वैसा इंटेलिजेंट. जैसे मान लो कोई गाड़ी, लूना गाड़ी चला रहा है, वो जितना स्पीड जाना जाएगा, पेट्रोल पूरा है, गाड़ी नहीं है, लेकिन वो लूना है तो लूना ही है, वो इंटेलिजेंट नहीं है, वो उतना तो नहीं कर सकता. तो ऐसा, तो ये सब फैक्टर इंपॉर्टेंट समझना इन आवर लाइफ. वन थिंग इज अधिष्ठानम मीन्स द body adhishthanam. Also the place of action is also said here. So place of action can also be environment in which we are working. And then karta is okay, karta is quite understood. The performer, the atma is there, karta. And karanam means the senses. Somebody is intelligent, somebody is a very smart person. So his instruments are quite like Arjuna. He was having, he could defeat Karna, or he could defeat great warriors, because he was this very skilled person. So his Karanam, his instrument, his senses are very nicely trained. So training is also important. Then one has to endeavor also. Like a lion is a very strong person, but unless he endeavors, he cannot get his food. Yes, nahi suptasya singhasya pravashanti mukhe mriga. So everyone has to do some work, chesta. At the same time, he has to be trained also. His senses should be working properly. And karta, the karta bhav, or the karta that I am a doer, that has to be there. वो भी important है कर्ता भाव. और अधिष्ठानम, he should have place of action, वो proper होना चाहिए. कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि we are not at the right place, like somebody is preaching, but preaching वहाँ पे कोई result ही नहीं आ रहा है. तो हो सकता है कि that place of our endeavor is only not good, तो हमें दूसरी जगह जाना चाहिए. तो कभी कोई जरूरी नहीं कि भाग्य खराब होता है, कभी कभी जगह भी खराब होती है जहाँ पे हम एंडेवर करते हैं. This is mentioned by Prabhupada at some place. He was mentioning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was preaching in Navadip, he did not give love of God like he was giving in South India. South India was just going and embracing someone, and then that person was becoming mad in chanting holy name, and then he used to go and embrace somebody else. Like that, whole South India preaching for 2 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did like that only. And then Kaviraj Goswami mentions, this kind of preaching he did not do in Navadip. नवदीप में क्यों नहीं ऐसे दिखाया कि टच कर दिया और सब लोग नाम जप रहे? बिकॉज इन नवदीप पीपल वर हैविंग फैमिलियरिटी ब्रीड्स कंटेम्प्ट. ये निमाय बहुत गर्वित था पहले, अभी भक्त बन गया तो क्या बहुत चिल्ला रहा है, हम तो स्मार्थ ब्राह्मण है, तुम भी मिश्रा हो, तुम भी कोई ज्यादा बड़े नहीं हो, हम आपसे बड़े ब्राह्मण है. तो लाइक दैट दे वर हैविंग कंपैरिजन विद चैतन्य महाप्रभु. So therefore the place was not good. So he showed his mercy to South Indians. Adhishthanam. So many times place is also not favorable. Like in Pune, many times the health goes down because पुणे का environment कैसा है? पुणे में ज़्यादा ठंडी गर्मी नहीं होता, बट पुणे में हेल्थ अच्छा खराब होता है सबका. तो हर जगह कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. सो इट्स लाइक दैट. सो अधिष्ठानम इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट. तो अधिष्ठानम, कर्ता, करणम, पृथक विधम, करणम, एंड देन पृथक चेष्टा एंड दैवम. The Adhisthana refers to the body. The soul within the body is acting to bring out the result of activity and is therefore known as Karta, the doer. The soul is the knower and the doer in the state it is stated in Shruti. Esha hi drashta shrashta. It is confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra. Gyo at eva and Karta sastra artha vatat. Vattavat. The instrument of action are the senses, and by the senses the soul acts in various ways. For each and every action there is a different endeavor. But all one's activity depend on the will of the super soul who is seated within the heart or as a friend. The super soul is the super cause. Under the circumstances, he who is acting in Krishna consciousness under direction of super soul situated within the heart is naturally not bound by any activity. Those in complete Krishna consciousness are not ultimately responsible for their actions. Everything is dependent on the supreme will. So Prabhupada is saying those who are full Krishna consciousness, whatever they do, we cannot say that you have done something wrong or you have done something good. Everything is done under the will of the Lord. Nobody can put any charge against them. The 5 causes are listed. Adhisthana means body, Karta means the ahankar, which ties together the soul and the body. Vishwanath does not include the Jiva as a factor in the action because in the next verse the Lord explains that Jiva is not a doer. So ahankar basically, Prabhupada says the soul here. Basically, okay, ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है. Soul is working with ahankar that I am a doer. Karta का मतलब वो है कि I am a doer. Karanam means the senses of many types, prithak vidham, such as eyes and ears. So eyes and ears, all the senses, these are Gyan Indriyas. Cheshta refers to the life air such as prana and apana, which have various functions, prithak. Daiva refers to the antaryami, who sets everything in motion. So, you can just see the cheshta, it appears to be like karma indriyas. And Gyan Indriyas are like these senses, like Karanam. Cheshta refers to means working. So we work with the our karma indriya, correct? Na? We work hard with correct. And then sense, karana means here like jnana indriya, eyes and ears. How do we perceive the things through our senses? And how do we work? That is chesta. So everything is involved, our body, our ahankar, our jnana indriya, karma indriya, and then Paramatma. ठीक है. Daivam refers to the Param Brahma, the worthy of worship by all. He is the fifth element in the accomplishment of action, among the cause of action. This means that the Lord Hari, the Antaryami, is the chief cause. Those who are convinced that the body, sense, prana, and jiva are only assistant causes and the Lord is the initiator of action, those people who just reject the desire for result for themselves and the concept of being the doer are consequently not bound by the action. This is the meaning. देखो, तो कौन व्यक्ति इस संसार में बधेगा नहीं, बताया है कि जो ये समझ जाए कि शरीर, इंद्रियां, हमारा प्राण, हमारा और आवर सेल्फ एज अ जीवा, वी आर सिंपली असिस्टिंग कॉजेस, बट द मेन कॉज, इनिशिएटर ऑफ एक्शन कौन है? भगवान. जस्ट 1 minute. So like that, okay. So with the concept of doership, one should not do the work. This is one thing. Second thing, one should understand. Therefore, in India, people know that कराने वाला तो भगवान ही है. कई बार बोलते हैं लोग. इसको रियलाइज भी करना है वाला कि भले मैं कर रहा हूँ, मैंने दिमाग से कुछ काम किया है, या मैंने अपनी इंद्रियों से कुछ काम किया है, या अहंकार से किया, शरीर से किया, ये सभी सेकेंडरी कॉज है. मेन कॉज परमात्मा. तो देयरफॉर आई एम नॉट अ डूअर and I don't enjoy the result also. When one does this work in this spirit with this understanding, then he is not bound in this world. This is what Krishna is saying in ज्ञान सेक्शन 13 to 18 चैप्टर में. तो लास्ट चैप्टर में भगवान बता रहे हैं, उसको एनालाइज कर रहे हैं. पहले भी बताया गया है कि आई एम नॉट अ डूअर, बट नाउ ही इज एनालाइजिंग दैट 5 डूअर्स आर देयर हियर, 5 कारणानी आर देयर. So don't think that they are the real Karnani. The only Daivam is the main thing. So in Daivam, we also put our destiny. Destiny. At the same time, Daivam does not only mean destiny. Daivam only does not mean destiny. Destiny में क्या हमको लगता है कि जो हमारे भाग्य में लिखा वही. लेकिन हमें ये भी समझना है कि उसको कराने वाला कोई व्यक्ति है. It's not only some written down some amount of reactions and some good reactions, bad reactions. No, there is some personality who is causing, initiating all these things actually. So we have to also include the concept of Paramatma along with the destiny. शरीरावान मनोभिर्यत् कर्म पाराभते नर न्यायं वा विप्रतिं वा पंचैतस्य हेतवः.
Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors.
Whatever wrong or right action a man performs by body, mind, speech is caused by these factors. मतलब काया मनसा वाचा से जो भी सही या गलत होता है, ये 5 फैक्टर उसके कारक है. The word right or wrong are very significant. Right work is done in terms of prescribed directions in the scripture, and wrong work is done against the principle of scriptural injunction. But whatever is done requires the 5 factors for complete performance. ये 5 कारक के कारण ही ये गलत काम या सही काम होते हैं. Actions are of 3 types: physical, vocal, mental. These are all of 2 types, following dharma and adharma. Nyayam, viparitam. So okay, yes, what is the question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Actually, here it is mentioned, no, for like right or wrong, all these 5 factors are considered for doing any work. But when we are saying, okay, there is something going wrong, like a thief is stealing something, or doing chori. So we are saying कि it is out of his free will. So we don't consider कि ये जो कर रहा है वो भगवान की इच्छा से कर रहा है. So how to understand this? Like everywhere, this super soul is also involved, no, in these 5 reasons or 5 factors. So how the wrong things are associated with the super soul?
Yes. Who will answer? Now Bhakti Shastri, other devotees will answer. कौन answer करेगा?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, भगवान ने हमें फ्री विल यूज करने का भी मतलब उस जो भी कोई है चोर है कोई गलत काम कर रहा है उसको फ्री विल यूज करने का भी इतना फ्रीडम दिया है, तो उसकी इच्छा हो गई उसे, ऐसे मुझे लगता है.
यस, उसकी इच्छा भी है, करेक्ट है. तो उसकी इच्छा के हिसाब से फैसिलिटी उसको दिया है, करेक्ट.
यस.
Also, Prabhuji, Lord is the sanctioner, so he will sanction the activity. So, but he's not like giving us permission. He's just sanctioning it, whatever desires we have. So in that way, actually it is being performed by the Prakriti. So, yes, Prabhuji.
Correct. So Lord is a sanctioner. He is not a permitter. In the sense, he is not telling the thief to do stealing, but because thief is very adamant, he wants to steal. मुझे चोरी करना ही है. तो भगवान बोले ठीक है, तुम अपने रिस्क पे करो. It is on your own risk. You have to suffer and enjoy. You take care. But I am giving you permission. मतलब मैं sanction कर रहा हूँ. जाओ. Yes, Amrit Pranbu.
With Deva comes at the last. First are the 4 things which are in the hands of that person. And in that his previous prarabdha karma also, that tendency to do thievery also comes, like na बीजम कूटम जो पहले का रहता है वो भी आता है साथ में. So we cannot put the blame. अभी कोई पर्सन जाके ट्रेन के सामने खड़ा हो जाए और ट्रेन आगे चढ़ जाए बोले कि सुपर सोल ने मार दिया मुझे, तो दैट्स अ फुलिश थिंग ना. दैट्स देवर कम्स एट द लास्ट. अभी वो बच जाए तो हाँ बोल सकते हैं कि हाँ वो बच गया, देव ने बचा लिया, भगवान ने बचा लिया उसको. पर वो गया तो मरने ही गया था ना. वो मर गया तो मर गया कि वो ट्रेन के सामने खड़ा तो मरेगा ही ना. सो वी आल्सो सी ना कि पीपल फिर कोई 10 मंजिल से गिरेगा ऊपर से कूदेगा तो भगवान ने बचा लिया है, तो बोलते भगवान ने मार दिया. देवा प्लेज रोल एट द लास्ट. बाकी 4 तो उसके हाथ में ही है.
ओके, 4 उसके हाथ में है, तो उसको डिसाइड करना चाहिए क्या सही करना है, क्या गलत करना है. नॉट दैट ही शुड ब्लेम द देवा. यस, नंदराज प्रभु.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have also heard in the lectures also, various lectures, that based on our past karmas, Paramatma is like becomes mute. He will not say or tell, indicate anything. So like he becomes just a spectator, and person does his whatever he wants to do. So in such cases, Paramatma is actually not instructing anything to him. Otherwise, Paramatma is there to just
witness.
Right thing. Witness is one part of Paramatma. Other part is like instructing him. So like devotees, I have also realized that whenever certain things are going to happen like in correct way, we get instructions internally that something may go wrong. So there Paramatma is acting. But in case of sinful reactions or sinful activities, Paramatma is actually not speaking. He is a mute spectator. He becomes only observer.
Okay, correct. So correct. When our conscience, we have suppressed it so much. Paramatma was speaking before, don't do this, don't do this. But we suppressed it because our desires were speaking more louder than the Paramatma's voice. So then we did not want to listen to Paramatma. So then Paramatma's voice became feeble, and then it went away. Almost like it's there, but it's not, we cannot hear. So this is important. So Paramatma comes, now one thing, everything is happening because of Paramatma, because of Daivam. Now, if somebody has initiated the wrong activity, then the wrong reaction will come according to Paramatma rule only. Somebody had drunk liquor, his liver will spoil. So his liver will spoil. So now, whether he is the cause of spoiling the liver or Paramatma? he has taken liberty of drinking the liquor, and he knew that by drinking liquor my liver will spoil, or he may not know, no also, no issue. But because he did the wrong activity, the wrong reaction will come. So in this way, Paramatma is a cause, because he has made all the rules, सभी कुछ rules बना के रखा है भगवान ने. Now we are the cause in choosing the activity. When we choose some activity, right or wrong, then we benefit by right activity, and we suffer by wrong activity. But at the same time, the whole world is moved by Lord only. कोई भी कार्य करो तो उसका रिएक्शन भगवान ही निकालते हैं, वो नियम से निकलता है. तो हमारा क्या है कि हमारा we are dependent on choosing the right path or wrong path. So we are accountable for that thing. You are accountable for choosing right or wrong. That Paramatma cannot choose for us. Paramatma can give us some guidance. He can help us to have a guru. We can have a guru, but even after having guru, we can choose wrong things. So that is our free will. And once we have used our free will at our own risk, done something wrong, then surely Paramatma's laws will work. Paramatma will also sanction those things. And once somebody has taken right decision, then the right things will happen and Paramatma will surely sanction. So in this way, the world is under control, but our free will is free for with us. सोचो, जो सोचना है करना है करो. नॉलेज में करोगे तो फायदा होगा, इग्नोरेंस में करोगे तो नुकसान है. तो हम डूअर वैसे भी नहीं है, क्योंकि हम जो सोचते हैं वो हमको हमारे लिए करके दे दिया जाता है प्रकृति के द्वारा. एज Amanpo said that Prakriti ke dwara everything is happening under the laws of nature. Three modes are in previous chapter we saw. Three modes are working. They were the doers in one sense. Now we are hearing that Paramatma is doer. Actually, doer is Paramatma, but he is telling Prakriti to do according to our desire. So then Prakriti is acting according to our desires. तो इसलिए हमें समझना है कि हर एक व्यक्ति चॉइस तो ले रहा है, चाहे वो चोर हो चाहे कोई भी हो, और वो चॉइस के कारण से संसार में चीजें हो रही है. बट कराने वाले तो भगवान ही है. सब कुछ उनके सैंक्शन के बिना कुछ होता ही नहीं है. तो लॉज भी उनके हैं, एंड डूअर आल्सो. ओके, एंड द थिंग, somebody is becoming violent, lusty, angry. So how these things are happening? He does not want to get angry, but still he is becoming angry. Okay, now this situation, why he is becoming angry? Because again he has worked in certain way previously that his destiny is forcing him to become angry. So now there also Paramatma is forcing him to become angry. Paramatma through the modes of nature. He will force because his destiny is like that. Now, if in this life he has learned to control his senses, then he can protect himself from getting angry. Therefore, even though our destiny is not good, we have still choice to protect ourselves by getting good training. डेस्टिनी कई बार खराब आता है ना, लेकिन डेस्टिनी में बहुत कुछ लिखा है, लेकिन फिर भी हम बचा सकते हैं अपने को सेंस कंट्रोल के द्वारा, अच्छे सुझावों के द्वारा. तो दैट इज आल्सो आवर फ्री विल टू यूटिलाइज इन अ राइट वे. इफ नॉट डन प्रीवियसली, देन राइट नाउ वी कैन यूटिलाइज. समटाइम रिएक्शंस आर वेरी टफ टू बियर. वो हो ही जाता है रिएक्शन, तो क्या करो, टॉलरेट करो. जैसे कोई मर गया, डेस्टिनी में हमारा लिखा था कि हम कोई हमारा नियर एंड डियर मर ही जाएगा. अब मर गया तो मर गया, अब क्या करेंगे. देन टॉलरेट. समथिंग, सम डिजीज हैपन, डायबिटीज हैपन, अब क्या करेंगे, हो गया हो गया, टॉलरेट करो अभी. So like that, the rules can never be broken. Rules are rules that are made by the Paramatma. Like that. Okay. शरीरवान ये हो गया ना. हाँ ठीक है, ये वाला हम पढ़ लेते हैं. तो द एक्शंस थ्रू बॉडी माइंड एंड वर्ड्स आर डन थ्रू दिस 5 कारना. तो 5 factors will always be involved when someone does good or bad. It means कोई मान लो अगर बुरा काम कर रहा है तो उसमें क्या, किस चीज की कमी है. 5 फैक्टर में से किस चीज की कमी है कोई बुरा काम कर रहा है तो. What do you think? What is lacking in him if he is doing bad work?
endeavor or
एंडेवर तो कर ही रहे हैं ना, एंडेवर।
Senses.
सेंसेस
हाँ,
Senses.
सेंस,
Senses.
सेंसेस मीन्स व्हाट?
ज्ञान।
हाँ, इंटेलिजेंस है, उसको दिमाग नहीं है, उसका ज्ञान इंद्रिय काम ही नहीं कर रहा है, वो परसीव नहीं कर रहा है कि सफरिंग को, कि सफरिंग आएगा मेरे को। जैसे अगर कोई हाथ आग में हाथ डालता है, जल जाता है उसका हाथ, तो उसको क्या है, उसकी ज्ञान इंद्रिय काम कर रही है, ठीक है। स्किन जैसी फायर के पास जाता है, उसको लगता है कि जल जाएगा। तो उसी तरह से इंटेलिजेंस थोड़ा लंबा ज्ञान इंद्रिय है, वो देखता है कि कल को जाके तकलीफ होने वाला है तो नहीं करना है बाबा। हम्म। तो उसका ज्ञान इंद्रिय काम ही नहीं कर रहा है, इसलिए वो गलत काम करेगा। अभी मान लो कोई गाली दे दिया, इफ somebody is स्पीकिंग समथिंग बैड वर्ड्स, तो इज डूइंग फ्रॉम स्पीच, सो विच 5 फैक्टर्स इज इन्वॉल्व, कौन सा पांचवा फैक्टर कौन सा है इन्वॉल्व है, या क्यों कर रहा है, वाई वाई इज डूइंग दैट? यस, व्हाट कुड बी इन्वॉल्व, 5 फैक्टर्स में क्या इन्वॉल्व है? बॉडी तो इन्वॉल्व है ही, फिर चेष्टा भी है, बोल पा रहा है वो, फिर और क्या है? चेष्टा मतलब कर्म इंद्रिया हो गए, ज्ञान इंद्रिया एंड दैवम, यस व्हाट, एंड अहंकार। समटाइम अहंकारा कैन बी देयर, ही इज स्पीकिंग बैड वर्ड्स, अहंकार में आ गया वो, अहंकार इज मेकिंग हिम वर्क। और इट कैन आल्सो बी, यू कैन से दैट his senses are not purified, दैट्स व्हाई द संस्कार होता है ना, 14 विधा 10 विधा संस्कार। तो ये क्या है, कल्चर नहीं है उसको, इट डज नॉट हैव कल्चर। सो कल्चर में क्या होता है, कल्चर मीन्स प्यूरिफिकेशन ऑफ आवर सेंसेस, ये जो जो सेंसेस है हमारे बोलने का, चालने का, वर्किंग, ये प्यूरिफिकेशन होना चाहिए, नहीं तो सेंसेस में वर्क अकॉर्डिंग टू ओन कंसेप्शन। सो लाइक दैट। तो अगेन द सेंसेस हैज टू वर्क प्रॉपरली। एक मिनट। ओके, ठीक है, लास्ट फ्लो का विल डू, एंड समय तो हो गया, ठीक है, टुमारो विल कंटिन्यू। सो वी हैव कंटिन्यूड टिल 15 श्लोका वी हैव डन। कोई क्वेश्चन है किसी को? एनीवन क्वेश्चन? यस, ओके, नो क्वेश्चन, विल एंड हियर। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय।